Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Wednesday, the 5th of November. Starting off with the S&P, and here the old 6770 zone, 6760 zone in play as support, and that's roughly where we closed yesterday. Still have the risk of a move down towards the floor of the channel there, and the 50-day moving average at 66.54. So another 100 points or so of downside, but hoping that we'll stay within the channel and then rebound. RSI still above neutral 50, so a chance for this market to bounce at current levels rather than head lower. Moving on to the Nasdaq, and here the picture is that of a market which has also pulled back quite sharply off the highs. Obviously, the AI situation more in focus here than in the general S&P sectors that we have, and also we have after yesterday's gap down, a bull trap island top, which is not a good look at all. That would suggest that we're going to have more on the downside than just heading back to old resistance to around 25,200. Have the risk of heading down to the floor of the channel there, the 50-day moving average. 24,600 is the person who delivered the big short is also short of some of the, or a couple of the big overvalued, allegedly overvalued tech companies such as Nvidia and Palantir. In terms of upside, obviously the simple thing here would be an end of day close back above the gap there. That's just around 25,800. But at the moment, with that bull trap island reversal, looking a bit more like the downside is what we should be looking for rather than the upside. Moving on to the stocks, and we're starting off with a new name, and it's Cambium. Here you can see that very volatile, but what's exciting is the way that we've had a bounce above the previous gap top high, so around the $2 level, and that does suggest that we've got the potential upside of retesting, at least partially retesting the recent spike. That was through $6.70, but the initial target here technically around $3, around $4 rather, and so we're looking for that during the course of the rest of November. Next up is a situation which is one we have been keeping an eye on, Castle Biosciences. Here we've broken through recent resistance around $25. Above that, best case is up to $40, which is a resistance line projection from back in November. And we're looking for that November last year. We're looking for that by the end of November this year, so over the next few weeks. Ideally, we stay above the old resistance there from back in January around $29, but that would be maybe asking a little bit too much. Covered Davis Commodities yesterday, and it's obviously done rather well with the push higher, 63%. And here you can see that we've hit the second target there at $4.40. All that's left now really is a clear run towards the old peak from November last year, just near the $7 level. So hoping for that. Maybe at the end of this month is a bit too soon, but hoping for that over coming weeks. And obviously, given the way the market and the shares have gone, it is obviously achievable, especially while we're above the previous target, the second target there, around $4.40. Evoke is next, and here you can see that we have a situation where the shares have, if I can get the right stock, Evoke Pharma. You can see that we've got a situation where we're trying to consolidate. The situation here is that we were looking for the shares to hit the top of that channel there at $8.50, and then a best case scenario target at up to $12, and you can see that they're planted there at the $10.66 level. So that, say the charting worked, although perhaps not quite in the way that was expected with that such a big push to the upside. Moving along to the situation at Founder Group, and here you can see that we've got this potential turnaround, sort of U-shaped turnaround. Obviously, one false alarm there. Looking for an initial target there around the 75, 74 or 75 cents area, and looking for that while we're above yesterday's support around the 40 cents zone. Next up is a situation which maybe some are familiar with. Hertz Global. Here we've got the shares hitting the top of that falling trend channel there, around $7, and above that, looking for $9.50, hopefully by the end of the year. but want to see an end of day close above 705 to deliver the momentum that we are looking for. We have had a look at the following stock, iHeartMedia, within that rising trend channel from March, top of the channel there, heading for $5. And we're looking for that while we're above recent broken resistance, $3.50. Nice RSI 50 rebound, and a gap above the rising 50 and 200-day moving averages. The next stock is quite a winner, and it has to be said, very happy that this has managed to take off. Here we managed to hit the first target there at $1.50. Next level up is the upper parallel of that rising trend channel from back in July, as high as $2.35. On moving down the list, and here we've got Relmada Therapeutics. Here you can see we're on our second target there at $2.75. Above that, looking for the top of the range and the upper parallel of that resistance line there, heading as high as $3.80, hoping for that by the end of this month. Ideally, with this no end of day close now back below $2.50, if we can manage that. Xometry is next, and here rising trend channel there from March, top of the channel there, heading for the $70 level, looking for that by the end of this month or even sooner, while we're above recent broken resistance at $58. Finishing off with a new name, and it is ZK International here. Rising trend channel base in place since February, top of the range and top of the channel there, around the $4.60 level. Looking for that by the end of the year, especially if we can get more end of day closes above recent broker resistance towards $2.80. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.